In these mountains roams one of the rarest species on our planet. A shy, elusive, and gentle creature. The giant panda. Pandas once ranged in great numbers for thousands of miles between Beijing and the Himalayas. But now, after centuries of human expansion and destruction of their habitat, they are on the brink of extinction. Fewer than 1,600 wild pandas remain, confined to isolated pockets of bamboo forest in the remotest corners of Western China. Some have questioned whether the panda is worth saving at all. But the Chinese are in no doubt and have mounted one of the greatest conservation efforts the world has ever seen. Their aim? Not only to increase the numbers in captivity, but far more ambitiously, to release pandas back into the wild. Yan City, one of the many towns and cities in Sichuan province. A busy market town with a population of 1.5 million. It's home to panda keeper Liu Juan, also known as Mary.
就是因为喜欢嘛，因为我从小就是一个喜欢动物的人。大熊猫是我们国家的国宝，很多人是望尘莫及的这工作。我为我这个我觉得很骄傲啊，我觉得很自豪啊。
Every morning, Mary and her colleagues commute the 17 kilometers to the China Conservation and Research Center for the Giant Panda in the Bifengxia Mountain Park. Once a small breeding center and tourist attraction, this has become the focal point of panda conservation in China. It was thrust into the spotlight when in 2008, a devastating earthquake ripped through the panda heartlands 300 kilometers away. Many of the pandas here are evacuees from that disaster. In charge is director Jiang Hemin, affectionately known as Papa Panda. He has dedicated the last 30 years of his life to saving the panda from extinction.
那个草草
就是这些这些猫。昨天水秀配了3次。
水秀。
草作为职能是。
草草现在体重好重啊？
现
在有117公斤。
回来时才90多个。
The ultimate aim is to release pandas back into the wild. To have any chance of success, Jiang and his team first have to build a large and viable breeding group in captivity. It's a well-known fact that breeding pandas in captivity is extremely difficult. Jiang's success comes from his understanding of how it happens in the natural world. Timing is key. Female pandas are fertile for just 2 days a year. Urine tests have shown that that time has arrived for 9-year-old Shui Su. So the team must make the most of this precious opportunity. A young male called Yung Yung has been chosen as her best genetic match. Yung Yung is introduced into Shui Su's compound. One of Jiang's key discoveries is that it's vital to let pandas communicate with each other prior to mating. It's all about smell. Male pandas send signals by rubbing their scent into their ears. These act like beacons spreading messages on the mountain air. Shui Su's acute sense of smell tells her that there's a male nearby who is ready to mate. Yung turned down the chance to mate with Shui Su. But time is precious, so an alternative suitor has already been lined up. After her bruising rejection, Shui Su needs some encouragement. Mary tries a little visual stimulation, a technique that has worked before. Lulu, a far more experienced male, is now introduced to Shui Su.
哦，走，
去摘，没头，
我们没叫到嘛，哎，对好，
走，等到的，哎呀，还是老板来。
好，10秒钟，
很棒
啊，10秒钟啊，啊，
你等到一天了，你想？
把它分一下，那电话把它分一下，把这边拉开，把它分一下。
The chances are good that Shui Su will conceive from the mating, but to improve the odds, the veterinary team will also artificially inseminate her. Shui Su is moved to the maternity wing. Here she is one of 7 mothers-to-be. The expectant mums are monitored 24 hours a day. Mary is on the night shift. It's hard to predict when a panda is going to give birth. It can happen any time from 3 to 6 months after conception. They seem to favor the warmest days in August, which in the wild is when the bamboo is at its richest. Shui Su is off her food and clearly uncomfortable.
喂，杨哥啊，哎，那个你抱下哈，你现在开始烦躁了。
这频率快点，
给你放大点，给你放大点，我看。
你看，
开始录制了，
录制又来了，你看，
开始了，有点事情了，哎，看，我都听声音了，啥子了？
声音出来了，像就像声音了，
好像就是有点像。
The cub weighs just 90 grams. Her mother, 800 times that much. But little Shri Su isn't the only new arrival. Her mother gave birth to twins. In the wild, it's not uncommon for pandas to give birth to twins, but the mother generally favors the stronger of the two. The other rarely survives. But here at the Panda Center, every newborn is precious and is treated with equal care. In the incubator room, little Shui Su's twin will be under round-the-clock supervision. Her body temperature is kept at a constant 40 degrees Celsius, just as it would be if she were still in her mother's arms. This ward is full of tiny panda twins, all receiving constant care and attention. The survival rate is now an impressive 95%, but it wasn't always so. In the early days, 2/3 of all incubated cubs died within the first 80 days. Zhang and his team were desperate to understand why. Mother had the answers. Keepers noticed that every 2 hours she would gently massage her baby's stomach with her tongue. When they copied her actions, they made a breakthrough. Gently patting the stomach helps the tiny panda to poo when its own muscles aren't strong enough. It was a key discovery that helped the vulnerable cubs survive. It was obvious that Mother knew best, and it was important that she had the chance to give each twin equal care. So the team decided to keep swapping the twins. But you can't just ask a panda to hand over its baby. This is highly dangerous. The mother is capable of killing a grown man with a single blow. The first cub is successfully removed. And its twin takes its place, with Mom back in charge. The keepers will continue to swap the twins every 2 days until they are 6 months old. Until then, Panda and humans together will share the maternal duties. Little Shri Su is only 4 weeks old, but already she has her black and whites. She's still blind and vulnerable, but nature has equipped her with a voice loud enough to summon her mother through dense forest. Because Mum eats only bamboo, which is low in nutrients, she can't produce much milk, but what little she does produce is full of antibodies to keep her cub healthy. At 7 months, her older cousins and siblings each weigh around 20 kilos, with sharp teeth and claws. These strong and healthy youngsters will spend the next 12 months playing together in the panda kindergarten. Mary is like their elder sister. She knows the personality of each and every one.
哎呦喂，长手长手长手娘！哎呦，我的头发！
每只熊猫的性格都不太一样，就跟人似的，有些比较忧郁一点的，有些比较外向一点的，活泼一点的，多种多样性的，很多样性的。
Each new generation born at B Fengxia is a cause for celebration. The result of many years' painstaking research and dedication. It's another milestone in the conservation of the panda. But for Jiang, saving the panda from extinction is just the beginning.
今天我们很高兴，又有4只大熊猫加入我们这个团队，使我们卧龙大熊猫总群数量达到170多只。
These pandas will remain here or travel overseas as VIPs. They have been close to humans their whole lives and are thriving in captivity.
不但能自我维持，而且能反哺野外大熊猫。所以我们下来的最终目的是要把我们这些熊猫通过培训放到野外去。下面有请我们熊猫入场。来，这是场。
Jiang's dream of restoring pandas to the wild presents him with the biggest challenge of all. These captive-bred pandas, nurtured by humans, are not equipped with the natural instincts needed to survive in the mountains. A fact Jiang knows only too well. In 2006, Jiang and his team chose a 5-year-old male, Xiang Xiang, to be the first ever captive-bred panda to return to the wild.
当时是很难受，你知道，我们是用了将近3年的时间对翔翔进行培训，我们担心了3年，放出去了是带着我们的希望。
Just 1 year into his freedom, tragedy struck. Researchers found Xiang Xiang's lifeless body lying in the snow. He showed signs of having been attacked by predators or other wild pandas.
当时是很难受，很难受，像那失去自己的亲人一样。 是说熊猫它的真正的家园是在野生的栖息地。它一定要回到它这个家，才会获得真正的自由。
To successfully return the panda to the wilds of China, Zhang Hemin knew he had to come up with a radically new approach. He chose the Wulong Panda Base as the ideal location. The base is set in a national reserve, one of the last places on Earth where wild pandas still roam free. Its headquarters were virtually destroyed in the earthquake of 2008. Though largely derelict, some of the enclosures still remain. Mary will be working alongside Zhang, but this isn't her first time at the Panda base. She was a keeper here when the earthquake struck, and this return brings back terrible memories.
所有的山体啊都在往下面塌了，然后所有的一切都被那个山上的石头给砸了，石头就到处飞呀。反正我记得最清楚的就是，我们跑到桥头去抱熊猫那一刻，就那个桥的等过去，还在左右摇摆啊。但是当时，哎呀，我就觉得很害怕。现在我们并没有放弃这个地方。 曾经很多，在这个地方很多美好的生活。是另外一个生命的开始。 我们把它作为一个野放的一个基地，应该说是回家之路的开始，回到大自然的家。
The panda base at Werlong is still isolated and uninhabited, with the tourist long gone. But that isolation makes it the perfect environment in which to prepare pandas for a life in the wild. For this project, parts of the base have been brought back to life and are home to a revolutionary process called wild training. It's a process in which humans have to take a step back. Even though Mary adores these animals, she knows that a panda that's become reliant on humans will never be able to cope with the threats of the wild. The training starts the moment the pandas are born, here in a 1-hectare enclosure. They'll spend the next 2 years of their lives with their mothers, exposed to nature and the elements. Mothers are once again key to the cub's survival. It's the females that are the fewest generations removed from the wild that are selected for the task. They have the natural instincts needed to survive. Their job is to pass their knowledge on to their young. There are times, however, when humans have to intrude into this wild training. Pandas eat up to 38 kilograms of bamboo every day. And the bamboo growing in these small enclosures could never sustain that kind of appetite. Humans have to intervene, so they've come up with a novel approach. Disguised in panda suits, they deliver bamboo twice a day. As the keepers discovered during breeding, a panda's sense of smell is remarkably sensitive. So it's not enough to look the part, they have to smell the part too. Scented with panda poo and pee, these outfits help to mask human odors. Today, everyone's focus is on a 21-month-old male called Tao Tao. In the lower enclosure, his mother has taught him the basic survival skills. He can climb trees, and he can be away from his mum for hours or even whole days. Tao Tao is the first panda in this experimental project to be selected for the crucial next stage of wild training, which takes place deeper in the panda heartland. The journey to the new enclosure will take over an hour and will bring Tao Tao up into the same forest environment as his wild cousins. It's quite a trek. These mountainsides are too steep to be farmed or logged, so they have survived untouched, with a rich variety of bamboo all around, a perfect panda habitat. Two kilometers straight up the mountain, these upper enclosures are as close to real wilderness as Tao Tao will get before he's finally released into the wild. At 1 year of age, wild pandas would naturally begin to expand their range to about 16 hectares. These enclosures give him 24 hectares of prime panda habitat. Tao Tao's mother isn't far behind. For the next 5 months, he and his mum will be left pretty much to fend for themselves. They will eat the bamboo and drink water that they can find naturally in their new habitat. One of the reasons giant pandas are nearly extinct is because for centuries humans have cut down their forest and turned them into farms. To give the panda a home here in the Werlong Valley, the government has designated 20,000 hectares of farmland to be returned to wilderness. Much of it is already being replanted with trees and bamboo. China replants thousands of hectares of forest each year. It's one of the world's largest environmental projects. Whole communities are being relocated. It's Zhang's job to encourage everyone to share the land with pandas.
这就是熊猫真正的家。这家里面有什么呢？有竹子，有树，还有一样东西。昆虫？不是。水。哎，你说对了，什么水？熊猫的家必须要有树，还有竹子，还有水源，所以这个是熊猫典型的家。就是地震以后，叔叔阿姨们想办法把你们的家都安在了那个河谷地带。 把山上的地都腾出来，种上竹子，栽上树，为了增加他们的家，对不对？为了增加他们的活动的地方。因为啊，你们去了山上，要看到了野生熊猫，还有你们的爸爸妈妈看到野生熊猫，你们现在怎么办呢？不要上来了。对，不会再去打熊猫了吧？不会。对，就是不要去干扰它，让它自由自在的在那个地方生存，好不好？
Tao Tao and his mother have been living undisturbed for 5 months in their mountain enclosure. The plan is that very soon Tao Tao will be released into the wild, but he must pass one final test. A young panda is vulnerable to the jackals, wolves, and leopards that hunt these hillsides. Predators rarely make it past the enclosure fences, but before he can be released into the wild, the keepers have to ensure that Tao Tao has encountered at least one deadly animal. They can't bring a live leopard into his enclosure, but they can bring a dummy one. Like most animals, pandas are born with a natural fear of predators. But captive pandas often don't recognize danger until it's too late. The keepers have to make sure that Tao Tao has learned how to react to a leopard. Pandas are short-sighted, but their superior sense of smell makes up for that. The keepers use fresh droppings and urine from a zoo leopard to give their dummy leopard the authentic smell. Using radio telemetry, one of the team tries to locate Tao Tao's mother, who is wearing a radio collar. Tao Tao may be nearby. The test is set. Now they have to wait and see if curiosity gets the better of him.
飞到飞到飞到。
The keepers have brought a recording of a leopard. The experiment is a success. Tao Tao clearly knows when to run. He has completed his wild training. It's now time for him to make his historic journey into the wild. the team lures his mother down from the mountain. Where Mum goes, Tao Tao follows. Tao Tao is a little over 2 years old now, the age when most pandas leave their mothers and set off on their own. For Mary, the release brings mixed emotions.
主要是说实话，我真不知道熊猫是在野外生活的好，还是在我们的保护之下生活的好。我比较自私啊，因为我跟熊猫感情很多年，我就觉得，可能我保护它会更好。对，所以说我就很舍不得，就不想。
Back at the research center, it's clear that Tao Tao is very different from his hand-reared cousins. Wary and aggressive, Tao Tao behaves like a wild panda. For the team, this is promising. Tao Tao is sedated for a final health check. He's the product of years of research and millions of yuan of investment. Every moment is recorded. He is about to become the most famous panda in China. Tao Tao gets a complete medical to confirm he's fit for his big adventure.
对我们来说，好像淘淘是一个探索者，承载着我们的一种希望走去。它代表着他那个熊猫家族，那必须要走出这一步。
Zhang has every hope that Tao Tao will one day be able to father baby pandas of his own.
检查根据是整体情况睾丸发育正常，1.3乘1都是一个正常的。然后从他的心肝脾肺上 B 超检查正常。寄生虫，这个是比较吃惊的，我们觉得，这个是我们看来生存技能有很大提高。
太好了，可能我们后天啊，我估计真有希望了。
那是，已经具备这个防规条件。
好，辛苦哈。
Tao Tao is ready to leave. He now passes into the care of the Chinese authorities. The hopes of scientists, conservationists, China and the world rest on his tiny shoulders. Tao Tao's destination is the Liziping Reserve, 20,000 hectares of pristine bamboo forest. It's an isolated area cut off by human development on all sides. The panda population here is dangerously low. It's estimated that as few as 13 pandas survive here. The hope is that Tao Tao, strong and healthy, will find a female panda and introduce a new bloodline. He could be the last chance of survival for this tiny population. Dignitaries and politicians have come from all across China to participate in his release. Mary and her friends have to settle for watching the event live on TV.
野化培训放归的相关的消息，在结束了26个月的野化培训之后，2岁零2个月的卧龙大熊猫淘淘，今天上午的10点15分，在雅安石棉县栗子坪自然保护区被放归自然。一起来看。
The honor of releasing Tao Tao from his cage goes to the Minister of Forestry.
幸亏你还出来了，你看嘛。
大家看到了，非常期待这样一个时刻，在等待了2年之后，我们现在看到笼子的这个门开启以后，它似乎一直不愿意出来。 大熊猫淘淘是在白色的这个板的帮助下，好，我们终于看到淘淘的模样了，非常可爱，2岁零2个月大，出来以后似乎在寻找什么。 似乎是闻到了，可能是闻到了这个人的气味，警惕性也特别高。
哎，哇塞！
恭喜！哎呀，回归自然。
This is the culmination of years of work. The hope of scientists and the people of China wrapped up in one tiny panda. A year since the release, Zhang hasn't seen Tao Tao. No one has. But his GPS collar sends back signals showing that he is alive and well, roaming across the mountains. There's a chance that he may have met other pandas. And in the next chapter of this remarkable conservation story, maybe Tao Tao will father a baby panda of his own.
Another up-close and personal wildlife documentary is coming up next here on Sky 3D as we meet the Kalahari's finest and cutest in Meerkats 3D.